Hi, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of Mom Mode. This week, we have Tiffany on the podcast, and Tiffany is a toddler mom, but also a toddler dietitian. And she is pretty well known on Instagram. And what other platforms do you post on, Tiff?
I do Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and then Pinterest as well, but mainly like Instagram. Facebook is actually popping off too, but it's
Yeah.
mainly Instagram for sure.
So you may have seen Tiffany on one of these platforms. But for those who don't know you, can you just give us a little intro into who you are?
Yeah, so I am a dietitian. I focus on toddler nutrition, baby nutrition, and mainly helping moms feed their toddlers and like their picky eaters just more confidently versus with all the overwhelm. I am married to a firefighter, so I do a lot of solo momming and which is already hard in itself. So I try to make my recipes just simplified and easy because I don't have a lot of time in the kitchen either. I have a 1 and a 3-year-old. So I have a 1-year-old daughter and a 3-year-old son. And we live in Texas. And yeah, I'm a food blogger, content creator, other dietitian coach. And yeah,
You wear a lot of different hats.
yes,
We were
for sure.
talking about being a full time, working full time, but then being solo momming for quite a bit of time on your own is a lot with two,
For
especially.
sh for sure. It was way easier with 1, way easier whenever my second was a newborn and she slept all the time, but now that she was walking at 10 months, and I was
Oh
like,
my gosh.
this was not my son." Like, he was a delayed walker, so I
Yeah,
was like, "Wow, this is too early for all the chaos to be happening."
I know. That's when it really starts. My daughter started walking at 15 months
Okay,
and
that was Bowen as well.
like would try, but like didn't confidently until 15 months.
Yeah. He was just such a fast crawler that I was like, I realized, like, you don't have a need to walk because you can
Yeah.
literally, like, bear crawl, like, sprint bear crawl over to the whole other side of the room in no time. So, yeah, no, 15 months was whenever he started,
Yeah.
walking.
I remember saying like, "Oh, I just can't wait till she can crawl because I thought like it'd be just, her being more capable. And then I like slowly retracted on those words. I was like,
Yeah,
oh my
it
gosh,
was so
the
nice when you could just
gates,
set them
everything you
and they
have to like
stayed.
house proof.
Yes, for sure, and my, like, son, he didn't really get into, like I guess maybe, like, in the kitchen, he'd get into, like, pots and pans and stuff, but he never
Hmm.
really, like, got into the wall outlets or, like, cords or medicine cabinets like all these other moms I hear talk about, but then, like, my second came around and she was just into everything, and me and my husband were like, "We have to baby-proof for her." Like, we didn't really do that much for him, surprisingly, just because he
Yeah.
really wasn't into a lot of things, but no, she is, like, Miss Curious Cat. It's so funny.
Yeah, that's how we baby proofed everything. More so like just in case, because
Yeah,
like you keep your eyes on them, but it's like that 1 second that you turn is when something happens. So
for sure.
yeah, we actually did have to do like the doors because she was just like opening as soon as she could, like
Cabinets. Like
cabinet doors, but like our doors on our like all of our bedroom doors, they're like a handle that you can just easily pull down,
mhm.
not turn. And so she was opening the doors and just I wouldn't know where she went. I'm like, oh my gosh, like within the
And
two
those are
seconds.
way easier to open. Like, I told my
Yeah.
husband whenever we go to friends' house and they have those type of doors, I'm like, "No, like, never." We have I mean, still now he can my 3-year-old can open the twisty, but
Yeah.
my 1-year-old can't.
We have her on her door. We changed the handles and they're round. And so she can't that's like the one door like when she does open all the doors and she'll like open, close, open, close. When she goes in her room and closes the door, she's like, "Mom." And I'm
Like,
like,
"Help
"Girl,
me."
I'm like, you're gonna stay in there for a minute. So you learn not to
Well, and
do
that's
that."
why, like, I went to a friend's house and she had the little, round things on the doorknob to
Yep.
where, like, he can't get out, and I'm like, "This is what I need to do for quiet time because like, I'll try to put him in the room for quiet time, and then he's able
And
to
then
just,
they get
like,
out.
open the door and he's like, "Hey, mom." And I'm like, "No, go back in your room for quiet time." So
Yeah.
I need to get that and just like
I've
lock him
seen
in there.
those.
Yeah. They work really well, so he can't figure them out just yet. So
Well, that's definitely something that will be in my future as well, I think, because she hasn't started opening the door, but when she does, I'll be doing that for quiet time as well.
yeah. So then they can't get out and then they learn like, "Oh, okay, like I need to just stay in here," versus having the freedom of like, "Oh, mom wasn't that serious. Like I can get out."
For sure, because we definitely need that time.
Yes, like my son is he's like on the verge of really like dropping naps. I'm like, "No, this day is like," and I know it happens to like moms with 2-year-olds or younger and
My daughter, 3 days
it's
in a row,
not
the last 3 days, no nap,
ugh,
and, like, we put her in there, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh," especially, like, now I'm like, "Okay, I just girl, I need you to nap, like, I just
yeah,
need a minute." She's napping right now, so that's good, but
it's good, yeah.
the
Does
last
she
3
go to bed
days
early? Like, do you have, like, wind down time at night too, or no?
well, that's the thing, when she skips a nap, like, my dad was here doing some work in our house, and so she skipped her nap. And I'm like, "Okay." And then she went to bed still, like, kind of later than her usual bedtime, and then that's
So
what
the
throws off the next day.
'cause she
And
sleeps in
then
later and
yep,
then
she slept until, like, 9, which is late for her. And I'm
yeah.
like, "Okay, this is gonna screw up the nap." So it screwed up the nap, like, the 2nd day. And then, what was it? I think we kept her, like, up too late, like, we ran to Costco kind of late. And then she skipped it a 3rd day, and so last night I was like, "I'm putting her to bed
Yeah.
at 6:30," and we because
Yeah.
she's normally goes to bed at, like, 7, 7:30, so I was like,
Oh, that's
"Okay,
so nice.
6:30 she's going to bed," woke up at her normal time, 7:30 and is napping.
Okay.
So
So you're
that's
back on schedule.
we're
Gosh, I
back
could
on
not even
schedule.
imagine, like, a 7 PM bedtime, like with Bowen, I feel like he went to bed at like 7:30 or 8, and then with my daughter, we decided or it was mainly, like, just hard for me to, like, figure out how to put him down and her down at the same time whenever my husband was at work, so I was like, "You know what? Y'all are both gonna sleep with me," so then we started the co-sleeping patience, and now she just goes to bed at the same time as I go to bed at, like, 8:30, 9 PM, like, so
Which is like
it's
I feel like I love like, I've wanted to do that, like, I would, like, love for my daughter to fall asleep with me, but she won't. She
yeah.
just is like, "Mommy, what are we gonna watch?" And I'm like, "Oh, I would love for her to sleep with me," but then I'm like, "I don't know, would I?" Because then you get in this, like, terrible pattern of them wanting to be in your bed.
Yeah, it's like, I love the cuddles and love it, but then I'm also like, I just need, like, I could put her to bed and then, like, at 7:30, go hang out on the couch and then join her back.
Yeah,
I want some kind of just, like, downtime in the evening versus so
absolutely. I feel like that's so
we're gonna
important.
try.
As a mom,
Yeah,
as a
like, we
parent,
need
I mean,
yes.
you're working full time, just like everything that we do during the day, like our bodies just need that in our minds.
For sure. Even just, like, you and your husband, like, having, like, "Oh, let's just eat some popcorn on the couch without kiddos running around." Because I don't know about you or, like, any other moms, but whenever we're sitting on the couch, I swear the kids just gravitate towards me, so it's just, like, they're all over me while I'm trying to just, like, I don't know, scroll my phone or watch, like, the movie that we're watching, and my husband's just getting to peacefully sit over there and
Yep.
enjoy his, like, evening
I
snacks.
feel like that's just like what it is. Like we're the nurturers, we take care
Yeah,
of them. So it's like
yeah,
they just
I
gravitate to
know.
us.
They do, and we'll miss it whenever they're all grown
Yeah,
up and too cool for us anyways. I'm like,
I know. Well, with having two, so 3-year-old, 1-year-old, did you start being a dietitian before you even had kids? And then it kind of transpired into being a toddler dietitian when
yeah,
you had your kids? Or like, how did this all
yeah,
come about?
yeah, so I have been a dietitian since 2017, 2018. Like, I'm coming like, I have 2 more years and it'll be 10 years. So, like, 8 years I've been a dietitian, and I graduated, I went and worked at a hospital, for a good handful, like, I kinda worked in between hospitals, like, switched, moved to College Station where we're at now, and then, I worked at kind of, like, behavioral health place, and I moved to private practice, so I kinda, like, hopped around. In the hospital, you kind of see, a handful of things, like, I got burned out of the hospital whenever COVID really hit because I was over ICU and doing tube feedings, and, um, we were in a transitional period, so I was, like, learning NICU things from, like, our NICU dietitian. So, because the one hospital I really covered, like, had like, I was helping over, like, NICU and maternal services too. So, um, that was really cool to see, but I think, like, I loved, really, like, the toddler to kid, like, pediatrics, like, helping them eat versus, like, oh, like, caring for a tube feed with a little baby is so much, like, so rewarding, but, um so anyways, then I left for private practice, and I was able to, with that private practice, it was kind of, mainly for, like, food freedom, so I saw, I was mainly, like, at the time, the only one really, like, focused in eating disorders, and that was a lot of passion of mine because, I personally struggled with my relationship with food, so, my dad I guess, like, back history, like, my dad passed, away when I was 12 years old, so, like, ever that kinda, like, sparked my whole journey of nutrition, and it was his 20th anniversary, like, last week, so whenever I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm hopping on this podcast, like, this is, wild to, like, just think about in, like, full circle because he would be so proud of just, like, where I'm at now in
Yeah.
life too, and so that kinda started the nutrition, but, like, as a kid, and I tell all my clients this too, like, my dad was a super picky eater, and, like, we didn't eat well growing up. Like, I literally lived off fish sticks, macaroni and cheese, and baked beans, like, KFC, fried chicken, like, it was very Texas country, like, eating, and it really stemmed from, like, him just being a super picky eater that, like, my mom got tired of cooking for him being a picky eater, so then she just kind of made the easiest things that, like, she knew he liked growing up, so it was an interesting dynamic, and I see that with a lot of families too, like, typically, one of the parents is a more selective, eater, so it kind of even resembles, like, shows up in the kiddos too, so anyways, like, lo and behold, like, changed my nutrition after he passed away, and then it kinda dove into, like, just a poor relationship with food, body image, like, I always saw my mom dieting and my grandma dieting, so I always just thought that, like, we needed to be thinner in order to be more accepted. It was like, we were better if we were at our smallest body size, and, like, throughout graduate school and, like, learning about nutrition and going through, like, even working at the hospital, like, I was still struggling with my relationship with food throughout, like, working at the hospital, and it just really dawned on me of, like, I don't want my kids to, like, experience this feeling, and so, I there's a lot of reasons as to, like, how I became,
No.
like, where I'm at now, like a
No,
toddler dietitian, so I'm
it
sorry
all,
for
like, comes full circle into what you're doing
skipping.
and your passion
It
for it
does.
too.
It's wild. So then, I, like, married my husband. My relationship with food, like, was healing or whatnot, and then I ended up having, like, 3 miscarriages before my son, so then, like, that was also another thing that really impacted my mindset on nutrition, health, like, balance with exercise, like, that's a lot of what people like, we can restrict, but, like, some of us don't realize, like, even over-exercising or, like, um just over movement, like all these walking like the walking pads are great. It's like great to get our steps, but like if you're also like working out and then doing a walking pad while you're working and then like going on an evening walk, like all of those things just add up. And if you're not accounting for it in your nutrition, like you could be just so depleted. And so
Yeah.
another like little just really wake up call was like, wow, I can't I'm not nourishing my body enough for it to even nourish a baby into this world. So, like, that really impacted my life. So I kinda had, like, multiple, I guess, triple doozies of, like, I wanted to help families, like, not raise selective eaters, but also like learn how to fuel their family with also being just considerate of like the family members' food choices, not being like,
Mhm.
you don't like this, like you have to eat it kind of thing. So like that was one aspect. And also like eating genetics and how can we like properly like nourish our bodies and nourish our families. And then like also building on like a positive relationship with food. Like we want that balance. We don't want this like fear mongering or like worrying if we have a piece of cake that is going to be all ruined or like if my kiddo has like a Whataburger chicken strip and like it's going to harm them in any way or anything like that. So it was like I wanted to help parents, especially because it stems from us moms too, of like our insecurities and like our relationship with food. And like that just flows into our kiddos' like relationship with food and like even what they'll eat, like how they'll eat, how they perceive that food. So all of that, it was like me working with moms and parents and from like young kids to like middle age to like high school to like I just saw all the generations of like I don't want to say eating disorder because they're not all eating disorder, but like just a poor relationship with food that I was
Mhm.
like, ah, if I can just like help stop this from the beginning and like help parents heal themselves while also like preparing their own kids into this world because like it's never going to leave us. Like, I mean, now there's like Ozempic and all these weight loss medications. And I feel like it's like when you don't think it's going to get more normalized, it gets more normalized kind of thing. And
Yeah.
so, I just, yeah, that's like a huge, strong passion of mine of like that area of like, how can I help all these moms and parents like for kind of like little Tiff to not go through what she had to go through growing up because like I was I mean, yeah, I like saw a dietitian in high school like about my relationship with food and like I needed to actually like eat more in order to perform better on the volleyball court and stuff. So um anyways, it like so that and then I also like discovered that I had like a really bad like gluten intolerance to where it like if I continued eating it, then it would develop into like celiac disease. So then I also had this component of just like a sensitive side to like food allergy moms too, of like, wow, it's so hard to find recipes that are like like they taste good and
Yeah.
they're fun for toddlers and like, the whole family will actually eat them versus them just being, like, bland or boring or, like, too complicated or too many, like, expensive ingredients. Because that is one thing I, like, hate, and that's why I don't use a lot of coconut flour because I feel like a lot of people don't really use coconut flour,
Mhm.
is I don't want parents, like, thinking that they have to buy this, like, all these special ingredients to make these, like, nourishing, nutritious foods. So, anyways, I'm like, "Man, there are so many pieces to this puzzle," but
Yeah. There is.
anyways,
It's very
after
intricate, but like I
sorry.
love it. Like, I mean, you clearly have a passion behind it. As a mom myself to a toddler, like you really don't like even hearing your experience with your miscarriages, which I'm
Yeah,
so sorry that you had to experience that. But sometimes you don't realize when you're a teenager what you could be doing to your body that could
like, in the
affect you in the
future
future. And
for
even
sure.
with different diseases, different, there's so
Like
many different things,
yeah, and
even
like,
we were
birth
talking about,
control or
yeah, birth control or my thyroid. Like
yeah, that too.
I told you before, like the
Yeah,
Hashimoto's, I'm like, who knows? It could have been like I was depleting my body in something that caused my
mhm,
thyroid to go into overdrive. It's just, there's
exactly.
so much that not properly nourishing our bodies can affect. And it's not now, it's
Yeah,
in the future.
later, and, like, that's where, like, why I even had like, why I got that drive is because, like, I wanted to beat genetics, like, I didn't want to, like, have to be taking all these medications when I'm older or, like,
Mhm.
have to have, like, a heart tra and granted, like, there are so many things that, like, you could be eating I know people that eat the healthiest, exercise, like, great, and, like, still end up with something happening, like, nothing is impossible to just, like beat or completely remove, but we can if we don't give it our all or, like, try our best, like, then how will we ever know kind of thing? Like,
Yeah.
it's kinda like what you're saying, like, we can kind of revert back and be like, "Oh, like, man, I guess I could have done that." But, like, it's also at the same hindsight 2020 of when you find out something is going on, trying not to, like, be so warped up in the past and being like, "Okay, like, all I can control is today and the future, like, let me just start fresh now and do what I can to help better, like, nourish myself and, like, feel my body and, like, help me feel my best." So, like, that is definitely, yeah, the miscarriages really opened my eyes of, like, wow, like, you just don't know what, like, future repercussions can have, on things, and so and it just made my kiddos, like, just even more special to me too, like, it
Mm,
not that I, like, ever, like, would want anybody to go through because it is, like and I went through and I think that's why I have such a strong, I don't know, I wanna say passion, but, like, when parents tell me that they get brushed off by their pediatrician or, like and it could be, like, say the provider doesn't see a huge deal about it, but, like, to the parent, it is a big deal to them. Like how you were saying, like, you're probably tired of cooking separate meals for your daughter,
yeah.
And, like, if it doesn't necessarily need to be a huge medical red flag or condition or concern, but, like, if you are seeing your patient, like, being super concerned and worried and asking you questions and, like, I don't know, just as a provider, I feel like we should give them our all and like, okay, hey, I will like give you these like contacts or these dietitians or like this is a website that you can go to or a book or like give them help just versus instead of saying like, oh, they're just gonna eat whenever they're hungry or oh, they'll grow out of it. Like, don't worry about it. Like brushing all these because I've heard it it's so it makes me sad because it is like or maybe their kiddo is, like, losing weight and, like or they've, like, slowed in weight, which is all of that is normal too, like, they're more active in different things, but I guess my biggest concern is or, like, my ache is, like, I've been there because I was brushed off by my OB so many times, like, at my 3rd miscarriage, they literally told me, like, "Okay, like, good luck, like, we're not gonna test, like" because I was like, "What about my progesterone? What about this?" Like, because I had already been doing all of the nitty-gritty, like, research and digging and stuff, and whenever she told me, like, basically, "Good luck," I was like, "This is not a good luck thing." Like, we've
Mm-mm.
been trying and been, like, after because their whole rule of thumb is, like, after 3 miscarriages, and then you have to do a year of trying. Like, it may have changed now, but, like, if you don't meet that criteria, then they won't send you out to a fertility specialist. So, like, I didn't even really get a referral from her. I had found, like, the fertility specialist around the clinic, and I was like, "Okay, whatever. I'm gonna take this matter into my own hands." And so, me experiencing that brush off, like, really hits home with me whenever I have moms tell me that they feel brushed off by their pediatrician because they're like, "No, my kiddo is not like" they're either not eating or like they won't eat any veggies or fruits or whatever the case or maybe it's protein and they're not eating any meat or like whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
It makes me so sad for them because I'm just like, like I said, I give you sympathy because it's like I know what it's like to be in that place of just feeling like, "Oh, okay, I guess everything is, like, fine and dandy," but it's not. I don't feel good confidently about it, so
Well, and it's
that's
just like
another
the
reason.
frustration of like, I know for my daughter, I don't know about what other moms experience, but she will not eat food out.
Like, out to
Sh
eat?
You cannot give her even the most unhealthiest Happy Meal.
Is it like she's distracted or,
No,
like
she's just like, "Yuck, no." I'm like, "Oh my
uh,
gosh." And it's really interesting. My husband and I, we laugh about it, but it is a pain
the
point
t
for me as a mom.
for
But
sure.
I give her like, I mean, for the longest time, she ate like an egg for breakfast or 2 eggs, but like that's all she would eat. I'm like, okay, at least it's an egg. Like, she will
And
only
it's
eat
more
eggs,
for sure,
but
and it's more filling than we think too, like, that we can,
yeah.
yeah, dive into that too.
So, with eggs, she ate eggs for a while. Now, the other day I made her like, she, like, stopped that train and was like, "Nope." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, what do I
Okay.
do?" And then I was making her, like, oatmeal banana pancakes with,
Yeah,
whole oats. I would, like, grind them up, mash a banana, a little bit of milk, cinnamon, and, egg.
like an egg, yeah.
Ate those for months. And then just recently, she's like, "No, mommy." And I'm like, "Okay, you're probably sick of it, but you also won't let me give you options." When I go to give her options, she's kind of like, eh. Like, she kind of
Yeah,
is like, I give her a food and she just starts to obsess with it and just wants, like that for breakfast or for lunch. She eats these like chicken nuggets with honey. I can get her to eat chicken nuggets with honey, which is good.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, I'm like,
I
okay,
wouldn't have
it's
even thought about yeah.
well, I eat
Does she like to dip? That's what I was gonna ask you too, is
only
like
honey.
okay. So,
Only
like,
honey. And
not
she'll do syrup like the pancakes, but she calls the syrup honey. And I'm like, okay, we'll just go with it. Sure, it's
yeah,
honey. Whatever. But um, but I was like, okay, it's honey. I get it from like a local person. So I'm like, okay, for allergies, I'm like, whatever. She loves the
yeah.
honey. Honey's not the
Yeah.
worst thing for them. Um, but I can get her to eat chicken nuggets with honey. But like ketchup, marinara, anything red, no.
What about yogurt? Like, have you tried mixing, like, the honey with the yogurt and doing, like, a little, like, honey yogurt
No, I haven't done
situation?
a honey yogurt situation, but she will like she'll drink a yogurt, if that makes sense. Like, those
Okay.
yogurt drink like yogurt
Yeah, yeah, the
smoothies?
Chobani or I don't know about, like,
Yeah,
Chobani,
any of
but yeah.
them, really any of them
Okay.
she'll drink. I try and oh, I've also made pancakes with Chobani vanilla Greek yogurt.
And those are good too.
So I
And,
try
like,
to
that's what I was
mix in healthy things, but like she will not eat food out. And so
that
that is a
is
pain point. And when bringing it up to the pediatrician, and I really do love the pediatrician we go to,
yeah,
but she was just like, huh, I mean, she's definitely like listened to me when I say that. And she's
yeah,
like, tried giving me options. And she's like, around this age, they are picky.
yes,
You
which is
know,
normal, like, there is, like,
she's two and a
validation to that,
half.
yeah.
And then she did recommend, she's like, try to get her on a multivitamin. She did say this. She was like, because I want to make sure she's not depleted in any nutrients. And she goes, and sometimes when you give them that, like once they're getting the nutrients that they need, they may actually start to crave different
Eating
foods
more.
because they're getting that nutrition that they need, which I thought
Okay.
was interesting. I never thought of
Yeah,
that
and
or
it could
heard that.
be I need to, like, dive into that too
Yeah.
because it could be
She
the
mentioned
case
it
for
to
sure
me.
yeah. Well, and at least, like, even that, it's like she's being proactive, and she's also, like, addressing your concerns. Like, yes, there is this age where it is normal, like,
Yeah.
there is all, like, selective I feel like, how bad it is, like, the scale varies for sure, but there is because their growth slows as well, like, after a year, they aren't, like, growing as rapidly as they are that 1st year, like, that 1st year yes, so, like, because they, like, triple, double, like, they grow so fast in that 1st year, and then, like, around that 12-month mark and I feel like it's even more like the 15-month, the 18-month is more of, like,
That's
when
when
you
I
start
would say
noticing
picky. Like,
yeah,
okay, no more vegetables. That's out the door. Like, it was just
yes.
crazy stuff.
Yeah, and it's because like, as babies, they're not really, like, inspecting the f and when you, like when I, like, say some of these things, like, maybe it'll, like you'll start kind of, like, even like, remembering or thinking
Remembering.
about it too, like, as a baby, they're just, like, kind of shoveling food in and, like, they're like, "Oh, this is a cool texture, this is a cool texture," and just kind of, like, exploring everything, and then whenever they start, like, becoming a toddler and, like, learning more and their mind is growing, it's like, "Oh, this looks different than last time," or, like, they start, like, really inspecting the food too, and then, like,
Mhm.
some even can get, like, texture versions, like, my son went through a whole thing of if there was any yogurt I mean, granted, like, he has always been, like, the messiest eater, even, like, just baby, and now he's, like, gotten a lot cleaner since he's 3, but, like, there was a time that say, like, if something got on his hands, he'd be like, "Okay, wipe it off," and, like, immediately wipe it off, and for
My
us,
daughter's a
like
little
we
like that. She's like, "Dirty." I'm like, "Okay, well, wipe them when you're all done."
Yes, and so, like and even now, like, you could start showing like, handing her a napkin, kinda showing her that she can wipe it off herself too, because
Mhm.
that's one thing that, like, we don't really think about is, like, the showing them how, like, showing them how to eat, showing them how to clean, how to scoop, how to chew, like, we think that ever since now they're toddlers, it's like, "Oh, you're Miss Independent, like, you got this," and it's
And
like,
they're still young.
they're still learning so much about food, like, we've been around food for 30, 40, however many plus years, and it's like they're have only been around food for 1 to 2 to 3 years old, and
Mhm.
all food just doesn't look the same. Besides, and that's what I'm gonna say about, like, say, snack. All toddlers love snacks, like, they can say the word snack, it's predictable, like, it is the same texture, same taste, same package. They know what to expect every single time, and so, like, that's trust. Like, they're not skeptical about it. They, like, know what to expect. So,
Interesting.
like,
See, I
of
never even
course.
thought about that because my daughter's like, she became big on snacks, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, like, we don't have any." Like, I literally like, they're up in
Yeah.
the pantry where she cannot see them, and I'll be like, "We're out." And but
Yeah.
that makes sense. It's that
Yeah.
she knows what
It's
to
that
expect from it because she's definitely a
yes.
texture girl. And I'm
Yeah,
sure,
and, like
like, moms listening, texture, like, mashed
I
potatoes,
s
cannot. She's like, "Oh, yuck."
yeah.
And I'm like,
Well, and if
"These
you think
are."
about mashed potatoes, you're like, "Okay, that's, like, a whole pile of, like, white stuff." Like, that wouldn't really look appealing to me either, but, like, it kinda is now that we're older, but maybe if it had, like, some shredded, like, yellow cheese on top or, like, make it look a little bit more appetizing, like, than
Yeah.
just, like, a pile of, like but as a baby, they're gonna eat it up because they're like, "Oh, yeah,
Yep.
mashed potatoes is a fun, like, whatever," but,
Yeah,
it's
then they get,
so
like, intuitive, and they
yes.
start to, like, inspect everything, and
Yes.
that's when I guess they become picky because then they're like,
Yeah.
"Wait a second, what
Does she
is
like
this?"
bananas? Like, will she eat a banana, or is she kinda like, "Meh"?
She'll eat a banana if I give her, like, a banana whole, like, just give
Okay.
her a banana.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm that mom that I'm, like, terrified of my child choking, so, like, I like to still cut it at least a little
Yeah.
bit, but if I cut it now, she's like, "No," and she wants, like, the whole banana.
And she's 2.5.
And she's doing better with eating, but, like, another thing which maybe you've experienced with talking to different parents or yourself even,
Yeah.
she, like, did not my daughter went from eating, like, purees to then I would give her solids, when we transitioned, but she, like, did not realize, like, little bite. Like, you do
She
not put the whole thing in your mouth, and
yeah.
she would do that. And now when she does that, if I'm looking at her, I'm like, "Okay, you took too big of a bite," and she'll, like, shake her head, and I'm like, "Okay, just spit it out." And I'll, like, have her spit it out in my hand because I'm like, I don't want her to choke.
Yes,
But
and
she knows.
you're teaching her how to spit. Like, oh my gosh, I made this one reel that it was ta like, it was kind of like the one of the most important, like, eating skills you can teach your, like, baby or toddler, and it's to spit out, literally, like, show them, like, oh, like, I will, like, do that hand motion with like, my kiddos to show them, like, "Okay, spit it out," or I'll put my hand underneath their mouth, like, I'll really try avoiding, like, sticking my finger in or anything like that, because like,
Yeah.
that can cause more more harm than good, and I got so many, like of course, it's the generation vibe, but, like, the older generation are just like, that's not manners, like, you don't teach kids how to spit and stuff." I'm like, "Literally, if they don't spit it out, like, they could choke." So
Yeah.
that is so important.
Or
So
even if
that's
she bites something that she doesn't like, like you mentioned
yes,
earlier,
like,
you
you
said, like, they're not gonna like everything we give them. I
no,
mean,
and, like,
I
we
don't
shouldn't
like everything.
it
As
bingo.
Yeah, like, as parents, like, we don't like everything. There's stuff that my husband likes that I don't like, or we both
Lit
don't like. And it's
lit
like, so they're not gonna like everything.
no, that is,
And
like
if she tries something and I can tell she's like, I'm like, "Okay, go ahead, spit it out." Like,
yeah,
"Here, just spit
because
it out," because I don't want her to try to chew and then choke.
yes, or, like, try it and really hate it and then, like, be either completely turned off by the plate or, like, end up,
Mhm.
like, God forbid, like, throwing up later or, like, something like you want to teach them it's like that part of fixing it, like, that is a part of, like, fixing the meal, like, they are fixing their eating by, like, spitting it out or cleaning off their hands or, um, say she doesn't like potatoes, but, like, maybe she likes some, like, sprinkled shredded cheese on top or sprinkled hemp hearts or, like, maybe she wants it, like, smash versus, like, round, like, that's showing her different ways of fixing that food versus,
Yeah.
like, thinking she needs a whole different food too, and so that's what, like, a lot of what I help parents with is just, like, thinking outside the box too, because once it's like toddler psychology, I swear, like, I'm doing this course this summer over it's called, like, SOS feeding therapy, but it's all about, like, textures and things, but, like, even just, like, toddler psychology is a whole little thing because once we can see it from their perspective, it changes so many things. Like when we can recognize of like how you said, like, okay, she ate her eggs and then she was all full and she was good. Well, like, I mean, one egg is essentially like half their protein serving, like amount portion for the whole day. Like they really only need like 13, 15, 19 grams of protein a day. So like
Mhm.
one egg is 6 grams and like that's filling for their little bellies. Or like say they have a little snack before y'all go out to eat, then it's like maybe she's just not hungry at dinner and she's saying yuck because like yuck to her is because she's not hungry. It's not really like yucky. So that's because like they're
That's so
okay.
interesting. And see,
It's
that's the
yeah,
thing too, is I feel like as parents, like listening to you and I'm like, maybe sometimes we just complicate it too much.
yeah. Well,
That's
because like
probably a lot of it.
for sure. And like we care, like you care about her nutrition. You want her to eat more, but like I find like the three things that I notice that a lot of parents like get so much out is like knowing, like, how much they actually need versus how much we
Mhm.
think they need, because we think, like, they're tiny little humans, they don't need as much as we need, or, like, they don't need as much as, like, an eight-year-old needs, but then they also, like, on the flip side, on social media, it's like, "Oh, here's what my kid ate today, here's what my kid ate today," and it's like, these huge plates, and even me, I'm like, "Did your for real? Like, did they really eat
Okay,
all
I'm
of
glad you're
this?"
saying this because I see these videos and I'm like, I show my husband and I'm like, Sailor, there's no way that she eats
That's
even close to this. And then
yeah,
he's like,
no,
how do
me
you know that's real? Like, how do you, and so if those
or,
parents,
like,
if their
how much
kids are eating it, more power to
I
them.
mean,
And every child's different.
yes,
So maybe they need
for
it.
sure. Like,
But that's
and I will
so
say,
hard
like
on another parent that like you
yes,
realize your child's not eating that much. Cause then in your
yeah.
mind, you're like shoving food when like maybe they don't need it.
Yes, or even, like, that serving size is too overwhelming for them, so, like, putting all that food on that plate and, like, putting it in front of them, like, Sailor could be like, "Yucky," but really, she's just like, "This is so much food on my plate," like, I can't even see what's on my plate because I just see huge portion sizes of chicken, green beans, and sweet potatoes that really I just need, like, 2 to 3 green beans and, like, maybe a little, like, dollop of dip and, like, 4 sweet potato cubes and, like, just smaller portions, like, that's another thing that, like, so many I tell so many parents to try as well, and, like, they'll send me pictures of their plates of, like, "Oh, this is how I'm serving this, like, how can I adjust their plate?" And I'm like, "Okay, well, first off, let's, like, half this chicken, like, they don't need that much chicken, like, serve this amount, and then remove, like, 3 broccoli trees and just, like, use 1 broccoli." You could even tear it in, like, little mini broccoli trees too, or
Yeah.
get them to tear it too. So there's, I feel like the portion size, again, more power to the moms if their kiddos do eat those, like, grand size portions, but that's why I never really do those kind of videos is because I never like, I'll show what I've served my toddlers, like, "Oh, here's some easy dinners or lunches or whatnot," like, that I've been serving them and me, but I don't really like showing and I need to, like, maybe do one and just, like, do it just for reality check
Yeah. Or
maybe?
just like, this might not be for all parents, but this is what
Yeah.
my 1-year-old's eating, or this is what my 3-year-old. And it doesn't mean it's consistent either. Like my daughter would
Yeah.
be like, some days I'm like, wow, you're really eating a lot. And then the next
Yes.
day I'm like, slower digestion maybe because she's
Yes.
still full from
Or
what
l
she ate.
or lower activity. Maybe y'all didn't play as much outside because you said that y'all like are inside a lot, or it could be like teething. She could be drinking more milk. Like there are so many other like things that cause them to not be as hungry. Like maybe I should do a week or like 3 days. That's actually a good idea. Cause like I want to be able to show like the reality of, okay, maybe my kiddos eat all of their breakfast, but then and, like, maybe they'll have mid-morning snack, but they're barely gonna touch lunch if they have both of those, and then, like, they'll probably have, like, afternoon snack or, like, even sometimes if they nap later, then I'll move up dinner, so then it's really, like,
Mhm.
dinner is, like, afternoon snack, so, um, yeah, those videos crack me up because 'cause I'm
But
just
it
like, "Man,"
changes. And
like,
yeah,
it's and that's when parents start work which I can see as well, is, like, whenever
comparing, worrying.
yes, the comparison, the worrying, the fear-mongering on social media too, like, I know you brought up, like, the sugar thing and packaged snacks, like, we talked about that, like, it there's just so much and I like, oh, like, I do Costco hauls, and I love showing parents of, like, these are better for you snacks that you can buy, or, like, these are higher fiber, higher protein items that you can buy, or, like, higher iron, or whatever the case may be, but, like, you will never catch me like, I will be on my grave if I ever, like, say, "Never feed your kid this," unless it's, like, a choking hazard, like, okay, popcorn or, like, something that's, like, actually a choking hazard versus being like, "You should never buy this packaged snack for your kid because of this, this, and this," because it just creates this, like, unnecessary fear, and then say they go to grandma and grandpa's house, and we see that fear food
Yep.
we're like, "Oh my gosh, you gave them this snack you're not supposed to give them." Like, I remember and this is where, like, my perspective on because of course, like, going to school and, like, educating parents before becoming a mom, like, how I kinda was telling you too of, like, uh textbook and doing it before you become a mom or like before you even experience something is so different than like when you're actually living it and like experiencing it too. So like say me as a dietitian early on before kids, like yeah, of course, like I need AAP guidelines, like do everything textbook, like this is what we're supposed to do, right? And then I had my first freak out moment of like and this is when I caught myself and I was like, "No, I will never this won't be how I feel because, like, I don't like that feeling at all." Like, Bowen was, no, 8 months old or 9 months old, like, it was during his, like, really, like, starting solids era, and I had different yogurts in the fridge, and, like, my mom helped a lot of because I said, like, my husband's a firefighter, so he works 2 to 3 days on, so he, like, stays at the station, and then 3 to 4 days off, so it's rotating, and this is when I was working at the private practice and my mom was helping a lot, and I walk in, and she had, like it was, like, the Chobani, like, 0 sugar, it, like, it has sugar alternatives. So, like, personally, I would rather my kids have, like, real sugar than, like, the artificial sweeteners. And then I had the Stonyfield plain yogurt in the fridge, and she was giving Bowen, like, the just flavored yogurt that was for us, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, mom, this is the wrong yogurt. Like, you're supposed to give him this yogurt, not this yogurt." And it was just this whole, like when really he only took, like, a couple of bites, and, like, it wasn't like he was eating the whole container kinda thing, and so that's where I, like, really learned, like, wow, like, I wanna do this for me, but I wanna do this for, like, helping other moms too of, like, yes, like, I love all of us caring so much about our kiddos' nutrition, but, like, to a point if it is to a point of, like, it is complete, like, exhaustion, anxiety, overwhelm for you, then, like, how can I help, like, bring that overwhelm down, if that makes sense? Of, like, how can I help you, like, nourish your kids without all the different fears that, like, are going on from everything that we're reading online too? Because there's just it's so much. I
I
see
know. And we were talking about this too. You had mentioned like goldfish versus Annie's. Like there's really
Mhm.
no difference. And then I had mentioned, okay, I guess the only way you can make it any different is by making them homemade at home. Like if you
for sure.
truly wanted to have a healthier option
Yes,
instead
or
of
like a more filling option. Like, say if
because
you
you
like
could
add
add
in
more.
cheese into
Yeah.
the like batter and crackers and stuff, but like really the nutritional like the nutrition facts are essentially the same. And like same with or like is it Annie's like gummies? I think they have gummies too, maybe. I don't know. It was like two different gummies, like fruit snacks and then the organic gummies. And it's like those are both like 10 grams of added sugar. Like it's still essentially like just gummy candy for toddlers. Now, like I will say there are so many more no added sugar options nowadays. And like even when Bowen was like a baby and starting solids, like I feel like there's so many more options now that just make it easier to like choose no added sugar, like healthier options for our kids. But yeah, it's I don't know. So then say like the kids are getting goldfish at soccer practice and it's like, no, 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 okay, like let's switch this out really quick with like the Annies. And it's like, but then and that's where like how the whole like me like pursuing of like a positive relationship with food is like, I don't want my kids to feel like though like I don't know how to say this nicely, I guess. But I never want my kids to like be like, "Oh, you're eating a bad snack." Like, tell like, "Oh, I can't have that. That's like toxic," or "Oh, I can't have that. Mom says that's a bad food," or like, "I'm not allowed to have that at home." And like build this not only like fear, but then like judgment too. Cause
Mhm.
like kids really don't know. Like, and that's where we as parents can like guard ourselves and like watch ourselves on like how we talk about food and how we talk about our bodies and things is because like they're listening and they're repeating so many things. Like, I don't know if you've ever said this, but I've had my even like accidental like shares or like my husband's like been like, oh, like I'm not eating Brussels sprouts. And then Bowen immediately is like yuck. And I'm like, Bowen, you eat Brussels sprouts. Like don't be like
Mhm.
copying dad. And so it's kind of that same outlook of like try even though we don't maybe not buy it, like, I'm not saying that we have to buy it at the store, we could even be like, "Oh, like, these are soccer snacks, but, like, we choose to buy these snacks for home," like, but you can
Yeah.
have them at soccer, like, you can totally, like, have those boundaries of, like, what you bring inside the home versus,
I was
like,
gonna
what
say.
they
Like at
have.
home, it's like that's your foundation. And then outside
Yes.
of the home, it's like you have to be a little more lenient. You'll drive yourself crazy as a parent. I
Crazy,
mean, you literally will. And I think that's
yeah.
where like I'm even learning because I mean, I wasn't really ever, I mean, my daughter knows at this point it's hilarious. She will not eat the same things at my parents' house that she eats in our home because she knows Mimi and Papa have
The
snacks and she literally goes and now opens the cabinet or like she'll
yeah.
work my mom. Like, like
Yeah.
she'll be like, Mimi, chocolate. And I'm like, oh, because my mom gave her like these white chocolate Hershey's, which like I would never give her at home. But I'm like, whatever. That's my mom's thing with her. It's like, let her live a little. She's a
Yeah.
child. Like, um, but I don't buy those for like our house because I'm
Yeah.
like, she'll get it when she goes out to Mimi and Papa's or, somewhere.
Yeah, for sure, and you're like, you don't wanna have those on the regular because you don't, like, you don't really care to have those
And
on the
then,
regular, you know?
yeah. And then I almost feel like you're creating a picky eater when you're putting those restrictions of like,
For sure.
no, because then they're going to be like, wait, do I eat that or not? So I
Yes.
almost feel like you can hurt your child. I could be wrong, but and every child's different. So this
Every
is the other
child is
thing is
different,
every child's
and, like
different.
but, like, what you were saying is, like, it's how we approach it, right? So, like, you could have white chocolate at your house, but maybe, like, you make it a thing as, like, okay, for after dinner,
Hmm.
maybe we have one chocolate, or we put the one chocolate on her plate for dinner, because that's another thing that, like, scares so many parents that, like, I tell them, especially whenever they're, like, very hung on sweets, because like, sweets taste good. Like, that's what I remind all parents and, like, all of us is, like, ice cream tastes good. Like, food like, sweets just they naturally taste good. And so that's why we want to hold off on them from like serving them so frequently because we pretty much know they're going to like them because they taste good. So,
Mhm.
like, when we introduce them and when we are like offering them more frequently, then like trying to make them just more part of like a balanced snack or a balanced meal versus being like going down the road of like you have to eat your green beans until before you get your chocolate or you have to eat all of your chicken before you get any ice cream. Like that's what creates that. And I don't know if you grew up like that. I kind of grew up. I like that of like you got to eat your veggies before you have dessert, and it kind of just it led into this like I have to earn my dessert, like whether that is like through eating veggies or restricting what I was eating at a meal or like oh I need to exercise to earn my dessert. So it shows up in so many ways, but like trying to avoid that language, like and it could be in it maybe it's like a maybe she does see goldfish and you're like, "Oh, no, like, we're not having goldfish for dinner," but, say it's, like, out on the counter, and in some cases, like again, there's different approaches to everything, but, like, if I leave something out, like, I don't know if you've ever had these little Drizzlicious, like, mini rice cakes, like, they're so good, but they're, like, made of, like, quinoa and rice and whatnot, but they have, like, little sugar added to them, but, like, I left a package out, and so, like, in my case, like, that was my fault because I left it out. Of course, he's gonna see it and he's hungry and he wants it before his dinner, but, like, I knew if he ate that package, he'd probably wanna eat much of his dinner, so I was like, "Okay, like, we can have it with dinner." So then I, like, gave him, like, 4 or something out of the package, but, like, on his dinner plate, and so, like, sometimes, yes, the kiddo will, like, only eat the dessert and then, like, nothing else, but for majority, it's like they'll eat the dessert and then they'll move on to the other pieces of their plate, or, like, maybe they'll ask for more, and then you're like, "That's all we have, like, we can have more another day, or we can have more tomorrow for lunch or something,"
Mhm.
but, like, holding that boundary as, like, okay, there's a limited amount to that, but, like, you have all these other things that you could eat as well. So, um, it's yeah,
I've
boundaries,
definitely
language,
experienced
it's
that. Like when my daughter sees something out, I'm like, "Okay, I'll give you a couple." And then I
yeah,
put it away. I put the couple on her plate and then I put it away because if I leave it out on the counter, she's going to say more
for
because
sure.
she's
Like, if
seen
they
it.
see more yeah, like, even mac and cheese, like, I literally had to show Bowen the empty bowl of mac and cheese, like, saying, like, "There is no more mac and cheese in this bowl," because, like, I had put away some for, like, tomorrow's lunch anyway, so it was truly empty, and, like, I had given him, like, 2 or 3 servings by that point anyway, so I was like, "There's other things on your plate that, like, you could eat, like, do you want cheese on your green beans?" And then, like, doing that to kind of help them see, like, "Oh, I can make these other foods better," like, maybe if I want, like, to dip my green beans in ketchup, or maybe I wanna make a sandwich with my chicken nugget, or like, trying to help them and it, like, takes creativity, like, in our mind too, of, like, thinking outside of the box as well versus just being like, "No, this is the green beans, you eat them that way, or you don't eat them at all," kind of thing. So, I
Yeah. I
find
like that
that's
that look of it
and
or that
and
viewpoint.
yeah, like, that's another piece of it, is, like, it's being considerate versus, like, catering to them or, like, giving up and being like, "Oh, you don't like these green beans? Okay, let me, like, pull out something completely different and make you, like, broccoli or baked bean," like, a different veggie versus kind of like and sometimes they won't eat it and it's okay. Like, it's like, "Oh, you don't have to eat it tonight if you don't want to." Like, I think that is another big piece of it too, is, like, learning to trust, like, their hunger fullness cues, because that's another thing, like, if we constantly cater to them and, like, give them what we know they're going to eat, it's like, A, we're not even really, like, giving them a shot, like, a chance to, like, try those other foods. We're just automatically like, "Oh, okay, like, you don't like that? Like, here, I'll make you something else." Like, we're not really giving them a chance to try because 'cause we're already just, like, kind of caving in, essentially, and then we know they're gonna eat it. So maybe if, like, they're not that hungry say, like, you really love pizza and you're like, "Oh, we're having, like, I don't know, chicken and veggies and sweet potato or maybe we're having spaghetti or something, but then you're like, "I'm not really that hungry." But then you like somebody brings out a pizza and you smell it and you're like, "Okay, like, actually, I'm hungry and I'm gonna eat pizza." It's kind of like like, were you really that hungry or, like, were you not? But, like, you smelled the food that you really love, and then you're kind of going past your hunger cues too. So or fullness cues, I guess, like, it would be that. But,
Yeah.
so that's another piece to the puzzle is, like, kind of observing and, like, honoring their hunger and fullness cues too,
Mhm.
which is a hard thing because, like you said, like, some days you're gonna eat everything, and the next day, they're not gonna really eat that much too.
Yeah. No, and that's what I've noticed. And then the other day, actually, this is something interesting. I was like meal prepping, just obviously like being pregnant, I barely cooked. And so I
Yeah,
finally like got a little like, okay, I need to like, I just wanted to, I love cooking. You know, before being pregnant, I would make dinner at least like 4 nights a week.
yeah,
And so I'm in the kitchen and I'm just like meal prepping all these things and she's helping me. And it was
yeah,
interesting because she's never shown interest in like these certain foods. Like I was making a broccoli salad and she's like, "Oh, mommy, what's this?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's broccoli. It's so good. Do you want to give it a try?" And she
yeah.
tried it, and she didn't eat a ton. She
Yay!
tried a
But
bite.
but
But I was like,
still, like,
"Okay,
that, right?
that's a thing that like that's way better than her not trying it all." So I was like, maybe her helping me more in the kitchen and
Yes,
seeing me taste things or like seeing all this food be put together and
for
it being
sure,
fun will make her
for
more
sure.
interested in eating. And so I was going to mention that to you because
Yeah, no,
I
that
feel
is
like
literally, like, great, and, like, even, like, I'm glad you took that as a win too because some it's like "Oh, like, they kinda took a bite, but then they, like, didn't eat it," and I'm like, "Wait, they still like, they literally tried broccoli or they,
yeah.
like, took a bite, like, that's amazing, like, that's still a win." Like, you can't guarantee they're gonna eat 5 broccoli trees in one sitting, but, like, the fact like, that's always, like, so my goal of, like, my parents and my mom, like, I feel like I mainly work with moms, but parents, is, like, just being able to, like, get their kiddo to be adventurous and just to try foods and, like, explore foods how she was doing, and, like, she could have even, like, like, she was doing it with you, she was seeing you. It was like, there was no pressure, like, she wasn't not because even if we don't add pressure to the table, like, they know what to like, is expected out of them at the table. So, like, even I've even told parents of, like, if they have a play kitchen and they would rather play with that and, like, eat there, like, maybe I'll cook something at their little play kitchen or, like, we have a little, like, toddler table that it's hilarious, and my husband's like, "My freaking hip is not fitting in this small chair any more nights, like, we're done sitting at this taller table." 'Cause, like, my son is like, "Dada, sit." Like, so we're all sitting at this little miniature table. We need little stools, maybe that would be better. Like, something like that, like, bringing the food to their level, and, like, she was in the kitchen, like, there was no pressure, it was just relaxed, and she tried it, and, like, also, she wasn't eating a snack during that time, she was helping you, so, like, say she was hungry, then that piqued her interest as well. So,
Mhm.
I love that, and,
Yeah, I totally
I'm
took it as a win. I'm like, "Oh my gosh." Like, I mean, I had her washing, I mean, I was cracking up
yeah,
because she was like washing the vegetables and,
yeah, and
then
it's
like
like the
she
more you can do that, like,
yeah.
the more things, she's been exposed to, so, like, even if she doesn't try it, she's constantly, like, exposed to those things, and, like, now that she's older, it's probably, like, easier for you to kinda give her more jobs without it being a complete mess too, because, I mean, it
Yeah.
is
The
messy
water
at
still went
times.
everywhere, but I was like, "It was worth it."
Yeah, yeah, like,
She had
seeing her.
fun, she's being exposed to different food. I was
Yeah,
able to
she
get
tried
stuff done.
broccoli.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was like, I was like, "That's a win." With
yeah.
you, so now when you have a son and a daughter, would you
Mhm.
say one's pickier than the other? And I mean, your
I would
daughter's 1, so she hasn't really experienced food the way your son has, but
So she's 16 months, so I feel
okay,
like
she's
she
16
is
months.
definitely entering like, still at 12 months, she was like, "Oh, I'm eating everything," like and she still loves her boiled eggs, and if I gave her sardines right now, she probably would still probably eat it, like,
My gosh,
surprisingly.
that's
Yeah, like,
amazing.
I didn't do sardines with my son, like, I was but I finally, like I was like, "Oh gosh, they're so nutrient dense and, like, so great. Let me just try 'em." I just, like I've always hated tuna and stuff, so, like, that's something that even, like, us as parents can practice, even though it's challenging, is, like, if there's foods that we don't like, using our kids to kind of help us, like, challenge ourselves of, like, finding ways to enjoy them too. Can you s Yeah, you can still hear me.
Yeah.
Um, okay. So sardines and, like, tuna was one of those foods, but, like, I would say my son is definitely, like and I'm raising them both okay, I'll say, like, I'm raising them both the same, but their experiences were for sure different. Like, with my son, obviously, with your first, you have so much more time with them. You can sit with them. You can prepare these like glorious meals. You don't have another kiddo hanging on your leg, or like you don't have like more distractions and more things going on. So I feel like with your first, it's so much easier to like do all the extra things than it is with your second. And granted, like Chloe, I call her my ride or die because like I literally truly built a lot of my like during my end of my pregnancy with her and like her whole first year was like my really just big business growth year. And so I was really busy with that too. So like trying to also like do almost what I did with Bowen, like, because it does take a lot of time to sit them up for every meal. Granted, like, for lunches, I definitely don't and I even told my husband this a few weeks ago. I was like, "We need to be better about, like, not just, like, casually doing lunch with Chloe, like, we do need to, like, sit at the table with her and, like, put her in her high chair." Like, Chloe is at the toddler table way sooner than Bowen ever was, but, like,
Yeah.
she wants to sit with him too. So, I feel like it's also kind of a difference because she's, like, trying to keep up with them. I feel like she's a two-year-old and she's not e like, she's 16 months. Um, I will say that, like, I feel like she is more selective than Bowen is, and she definitely eats, like, less than Bowen does at certain points too. I feel like Bowen is, like, I don't know, he has a bigger appetite now that he's 3, and, like, he probably eats a little bit more veggies than her, but, um, I will say I feel like girls like, it's like they're, like, smarter. Like, I don't like, they're more just, like, little inspectors compared to boys. I feel like I've had more and even just going through people in my like, that I have like, clients that I've worked with too, like, I have had more girl picky eaters than, like, boy picky eaters too, so
Mm.
it's really interesting to see the correlation, but, um, like, Chloe it's me I think the hardest part is, like, not comparing them because they are 2 totally different ages, so, like, I remember there will be nights that my husband's like, "She's barely eaten anything today, like, what are you gonna do? Like, what do we do?" And I'm like, "I mean, A, she's half the size of Bowen, like, she doesn't need that much, like, she'll be okay," but then, like, I also can relate to the moms that are like, "Oh my gosh, if they don't eat dinner, don't drink their milk, like, they're gonna wake up in the middle of the night," because I think now we're on a better streak, but for probably the first 13, 14 months of her life, like, granted, we co-slept and stuff too, but, like, waking up at least twice a night just, like, for her to either nurse or because she really didn't take a bottle, so we kinda skipped from, like we just went straight to a straw cup, essentially, like, we didn't even do a bottle with her, so that was another big difference versus, like, Bowen. He kind of self-weaned because he really loved food at 12 months, so, like, he just really, like, stopped nursing, like, didn't drink neither of my kiddos are big milk drinkers too, so I'll tell parents that because I get a lot of, like, concerns with that too, is, like, making sure that they drink enough milk for, like, calcium, vitamin D, protein, all those great things, but then I have parents that stress if they don't have a milk drinker, they're like, "Oh my gosh, how can I get" and I'm like, "Well, do they eat cheese? Do they eat yogurt?" Like, there's other
Mm.
sources of those nutrients that they can have as well, so
My
as
daughter
long as you're
loves milk, which,
oh, okay,
like,
so
is great, but, like, I think you mentioned this
it can
earlier, they can fill up on
fill
milk.
up.
So,
Yeah,
I try to, like, limit the amount I'm giving her, so I'll give her
yeah,
less milk than, like, a full she drinks out of, like, a sippy cup,
okay.
and then I've even this is so terrible, but she likes Ovaltine, and that's been like our way to get her to drink milk sometimes,
I mean, like, I'm sure
which I'm
Chloe would
like,
love her some Ovaltine too.
so that's kind of a bad thing that we introduced, but whatever. It gets her to drink it. I'm like, there's worse, it's not Hershey's or
Yeah.
something. It's
Do you
the
serve
best.
the milk with meals or before meal like, in between meals?
I try to do it after I've started giving her food. So I'll try to like
Okay.
put down like her pancakes or,
Yeah.
or her sandwich for lunch or her chicken nuggets. And I kind of just let her start to eat first because otherwise she
Yeah.
will just like devour the bottle. But, I mean, and a
Okay.
lot of times she'll be like, can I have, mom, bottle? And she still calls it bottle or, we call it like
Yeah,
chocolate
yeah.
milk now. But I try to wait because I'm like, otherwise she's going to fill up on this
Um,
milk.
yeah, and you can honestly even if she starts eating, like, I would even you could even try, like, not like, just giving her some water and, like, kinda weaning her from that too, and then doing it during,
Well,
say, I
this is a
guess, like,
really
nap
bad
time.
habit, but we now make it hot cocoa. So we warm water up
Cute.
and we put a little bit of the Ovaltine
Uh-huh.
and then she'll drink it. And
Drink the
she'll drink the water then.
water. Okay. So does she drink plain water or no?
She'll drink plain water, but it's
Oh,
more
okay,
like if
okay.
she's playing outside.
Okay. Have you tried, like, doing, like, fruit infused water? I'll even tell parents this too of, like, a good way to introduce new fruits is, like, getting a clear cup or clear whatever it is, sippy cup, just putting, like, frozen blueberries or frozen strawberries, frozen mango into the cup, and it's just, like it feels like a
Fun.
fun drink to them, and it's just literally water and frozen fruit in a cup.
I like that. I haven't done that. I'll have to try
So,
that.
yeah, you
Like
can try that
do
at
it
meal.
frozen so that way it's kind of
Kind
keeps
of
it
gives it
cooler.
cool. Yeah, you could do freeze-dried fruit too, like, I'll kind of if I go to Starbucks, then, like, I started this tradition with my son, like, long ago, so now both of them do it, but, like, I'll just get a scoop of the fruit inclusions, like, it's just, like, the freeze-dried fruit and water, and, of course, like, now they charge for it because I guess everybody caught on to originally, it was free, and then
That's funny.
now they
So you'll
so,
just
you
ask them
could
for like the
like, just
freeze-dried
the
fruit
yeah,
in
like 1
water.
scoop in water, and then it's like, I don't know, $2 or something. It's just like a fun the dragon fruit like, makes it all purple, so it really feels like a fun drink, but they drink the whole thing, like, it is
I'll
so
have to
easy.
do
So you
that.
could
That's a good thing
yeah,
because, yeah, I started the hot cocoa because I'm like, well, it was mainly when she was like cold, like coming down with a
yeah,
cold, and they're, obviously you have to keep them hydrated. And so
for sure.
when she's sick, she's not as like wanting to eat or drink as much. And so I was like, oh,
Yeah,
do you want hot cocoa? And then I was like, okay, also warm is good for her throat if she's sick. So it became
yeah,
this thing. And so now sometimes she'll ask for hot cocoa, but I'm going to try the fruit
yeah,
drink.
try the
'Cause she, like,
fruit, and
loves
then
smoothies. I was gonna say,
I
like
was about to ask about smoothies too, because
and I
smoothies
could
would
put
be a good
spinach in there. Like, I can
oh, yeah,
what is, like, your I'm curious. If you were to do,
yeah.
like, a smoothie, like, what is your ideal smoothie? Like, do you put spinach? Do you put avocado? Like,
I
what
do
what veggies or, like, what power foods do you hide in the smoothie?
yeah, so I'll do Greek yogurt, and I'm all full fat, like, I love full
Yep.
fat dairy like, my son is 3, he still drinks whole milk, essentially, like, we are if he drank a lot of milk, I probably maybe would switch to 2% or something, but really it's just the fat and the percentage difference on that, but, like, full fat Greek yogurt, I love avocado, and then I'll do a banana, like, we like a peanut butter banana situation or, like, an almond butter. Or if I don't want it tasting like banana, then I'll do, like, frozen blueberries or strawberries, and I'll do some spinach, then I'll add, like, hemp hearts and chia seeds, so I kinda do, like, a tablespoon of each in there because like,
Okay.
both of them
I've done
have
chia seeds. Is there a trick to,
yeah.
like, make them not crunchy? Or do you just, like, leave them? Because like, when
Well, I
I did
blend
it
them, but
yeah.
they're still crunchy
Yeah,
when they blend.
but I guess you have to,
I
like,
guess
maybe leave it for a few minutes because then they
yeah,
quickly
that'll,
fill
like
up. Because I
yeah,
love chia
yeah.
seed water for myself. There's so many benefits to chia seeds.
Yeah. I just, like this is gonna sound like a weird combo, but, like, ever since I was pregnant with Bowen the first go around, like at the beginning. I've always loved, like, a nighttime little bowl of cereal. Like, cereal is just, like, a fun snack, so now I add, like, 1 to 2 tablespoons of chia seeds on top of my cereal, and I just, like, eat it with yeah, it, like, turns kinda like a chia pudding by the end, but
I
you
like
should
that
try
though.
it.
I
It's
like
like
chia seeds. And
yeah.
what's the hemp hearts? I mean, I haven't what's like the benefit
It's
for the
with, like,
toddlers?
omega si like, 6s, and plus it has, like, protein and healthy fats as well, and they're really high in iron, so,
That's good.
like, chia seeds have the omega-3s, and they made like, chia seeds are way more higher in fiber than hemp hearts, but hemp hearts kinda add that boost of the protein and the iron, and chia seeds have iron as well, but
Yeah. I
so
feel
it's
like
kinda like
that's
chia
like
is fiber, hemp heart is protein. So you could use them as, like, little sprinkles on, like, her yogurt parfait, or, like, I'll add them onto, oatmeal. Like, I literally in a little s and I don't know if you use, like, colored sprinkles, but I have, like, little dye-free colored sprinkles that I'll mix, like, maybe that much, like, a third or a fourth dye-free colored sprinkles, and then I'll mix, like, half hemp hearts, half chia seeds, and I'll just, like, shake it up so it's, like, just this mix of, like, hemp and chia and, like, dye-free sprinkles that he can just, like, sprinkle on his, like, pancake or wherever he wants
I
to kinda
like
sprinkle
that.
it
See, you
to.
have to make it fun.
Yeah, it's, like,
Yeah.
just adding because like, we
Or like adding a
and the
task into where like they're doing
they do
something.
it, yes, or
Yeah.
they have a choice, like, I think you were saying earlier about, like, giving her choices, like, whenever you give her choices, like, sometimes it doesn't really, like, go the, like, route you want it to go, but, like, try giving her just, like, 2 choices, like, "Do you want carrots or do you want broccoli? Do you want pancakes or do you want waffles? Or do you want the red cup or the blue cup?" Just, like, 2 choices, so then she can either, like, point to it, or she doesn't have, like, 10 choices to where it's like a, oh, like, then she's overwhelmed with all these choices. So that's another thing that you could try too is, like, just 2 choices. And it doesn't have to be 2 choices for every option in the meal. It could just be, like, "Do you want spaghetti or chicken tenders for dinner tonight?" kinda
Yeah.
thing.
She's a big chicken tender buttered noodles girl.
Oh, yeah, and do you use, like, the chi have you tried, like, the chickpea noodles with her or anything? Because that's another one of
No.
my, like,
Is that another good
favorite
one?
yeah, like, because then, like, not that, like, plain noodles are any less than or whatnot, but, like, the chickpea noodles and I can even, like, send you a good couple of brands too, but, like, that don't turn mushy. I feel like there's some that kind of turn mushy, but they just have way, like, more fiber, protein, and iron in them compared to just the standard. So, like, say I'm making, like, butter parmesan noodles and they're chickpea noodles, I'm like, "This is fine." Like, they have fiber, protein. I'll even add them cold into a lunchbox too because they already kinda have, like,
Yeah.
everything in them. So,
I like that. Yeah, I'll have to get
that's
the some brands from
yeah.
you because
Yeah,
that she does. Yeah,
and
my
it's
mom's like, "Oh
easy.
my gosh, how is this girl not turning into a noodle?" But I'm like, we use like full fat butter. We use parmesan. We grate fresh parmesan on it. Sometimes we'll cook it.
Yeah.
This is really weird, but I saw someone do this before, but we'll cook it in bone broth.
That's another yep, that's another thing
I'm
too.
like, I
Oh,
don't
look
know
at
if that's something.
you.
So I
Yeah,
try,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
as a
and
picky
it adds
eater
extra
mom,
flavor too.
and sometimes she's about it, and other times she's like, no. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
like she just wants the regular, which I get.
and another thing I'll
Yeah,
say too is, like, changing the shape of the noodle too, because some parents will kind of get caught up into, like, the same shape every single time or, like, see the same box of mac and cheese every time. So, like, that's another thing that, like or another way we can add variety without, like, changing the whole meal or whole food group is just, like or even it's, like, yellow mac and cheese versus white mac and cheese or,
yeah,
like, yellow cheese versus Parmesan. So, or, like, a elbow noodle versus, like, a shell noodle. So, those different type of variations, like, create, like, the variety without it being like a butter noodle or like marinara sauce and noodles because those are obviously like very different too. And you could even try like see if like she would this work like I say work, but like one of my clients we talked about using the penne I can never say this like penne whatever
penny.
penne yeah noodles as, like, a straw, so, like, slurping the sauce through the straw or, like,
Yeah,
stringing it through, like, a necklace or, like, I'll always say, like, "Dip it in the sauce." Like, "Ooh, could you dip it and lick it off the noodle or, like,
that's
slurp it off the
smart.
noodle?" So, trying to get it, like, small little steps to just get them touching the food and
Because
engaging with
sometimes I
that
feel like it's
food.
just getting them to eat it, and then they
Yeah.
realize, "Oh, wait, I like this."
Yeah, like, it's
I feel like
good,
sometimes
it's
that's
just
the hardest
scary,
part.
like yes, because like, probably to her, she's like, "Oh, I don't wanna get red sauce on me, like, this red sauce is gonna get on my
She's
hands,"
not
or
a red
like
sauce girl. And I'm
does she like
Italian,
pizza
so
or no? Oh, have you tried
no,
Alfredo pizza?
no,
Like,
but I was
white
just
pizza?
gonna say maybe I could do a white pizza.
Yeah, so you could try
Yeah,
that, and you could even do it on, like, little naan bread or something, like a
yeah.
small little pizza, and then have
Make a
her, like
shape or something fun.
yes, like, have her sprinkle the parmesan on top or, like, the spinach or whatever it may be, just, like it's really getting them more involved. I feel like that is, like, so big because then they're experiencing those foods, they're getting that exposure, and when we create, like, them touching things in an activity form versus, like, her looking at the pile of mashed potatoes and being like, "Well, I don't wanna touch that." Like, it or, like, bringing the mashed potatoes into a bucket and being like, "Oh, can you drive a car through the mashed potatoes?" And then it's like, even though it's weird and we don't as parents, it's like, we don't wanna teach them to play with their food, but play is so like, that is how toddlers learn is through play, and so,
Yeah.
I think that's so key for and they won't always have to do it, like, they will not always have to drive
Yeah,
their
it's
truck
just for now. It's a
through
short
mashed
period at the end of the
potatoes.
day.
Yeah, and they don't even have to do it at a restaurant. I'll get that question too. It's like and I know that, like, you kinda mentioned that too, is like, what we do at home, we don't necessarily have to, like, be okay with at a restaurant, like, we don't have to say, like, "Don't play with your food." We don't do that. Like, we could just say, "Oh, hey, like, buddy, like, that's what we do at home, but, like, here, like, maybe you can, like, play with it in this bowl," or, like, give them kind of like a container or, like, just confine it versus letting them destroy the whole restaurant table too, like maybe they would do at home.
Yeah.
'Cause I do get that question of like, "Okay, well, how do you" or say, like, we roar at our dinner table, but, like, maybe we don't wanna be roaring like dinos in freaking
My daughter
Applebee's or
loves
something.
dinosaurs. That's the way we get her to like my husband
So
even this morning, he's like, "Elsa eats these muffins at her castle." I'm like, "Oh my gosh."
so what is
And
she
sure
what
enough, she took a bite.
bingo.
So,
Even, like, hop little
sometimes
bunnies, like
yep,
carrots, like, "Oh, you wanna hop higher?" Or, like, my daughter's obsessed with chicken, so, like, the whole time her holding up a chicken, like, she's like, "Chicken, chicken, chicken, chicken," and I was like, "Yes, chicken, bok, bok," and then she just kept on eating it, and so,
yeah.
even though I'm like, "Sorry, vegetarians," like, that's probably,
Well, I was
like,
gonna ask
can, like
you about meat. Like, how like, my daughter likes chicken.
yeah.
But what about like like my daughter will not try beef.
Oh,
So it's
yeah.
like at this age, is it like something where you just introduce the nutrients that they're getting from that beef in other ways until they're willing to try the beef? Or
Yeah,
like is
and,
that
like,
kind of like the
don't
best solution?
yeah, like, there's so many ways to, like, get that iron in, and if she likes beans are such a powerhouse, like, I feel like there's so many, like, there's I just love beans. I love black beans, chickpeas, all those things, like, edamame, I don't know if you've, like, tried that with her, but that's another really great iron source and calcium source too. But yeah, like, introducing those nutrients in other forms, but also, like, not avoiding serving her that meat because like, going back to, offering too much of their safe food doesn't really give them a chance to try it. It's kind of the
Yeah.
same thing if we don't even put it on their plate, they don't even have a chance to try it that meal. So that's what I always say too is like, even if it's like a little speck of like ground meat, and ground meat is hard. When we look at ground meat, it's kind of like the mashed potatoes example, um, or like a casserole example. Like casseroles really don't appetizing, like
Mhm.
truthfully. And so like same with ground meat. It really doesn't like, ground meat is hard for them to, like, scoop and eat, so, like, trying to mix it into something like a sauce or, like, maybe she would like ground chicken on an Alfredo pizza or, like
Yeah, we've cut
I
up
don't know.
chicken in her pasta, so I'm like, maybe we can do ground beef in the pasta and maybe she would eat
Yeah,
it. But once again, that
yeah.
doesn't sound appetizing to me, so would it be
But
appetizing for her? But you don't know.
you really don't know. Like, when my son was dipping his Brussels sprouts in ketchup, I was like, "This is absolutely disgusting," but, like, he's eating Brussels sprouts, so, like, so be it kind of
Yeah.
thing. Um, but, like, trying to figure maybe it's, like, sticking a toothpick into one of the ground meat pieces to where it's, like, she's kind of, like, intrigued, and she picks it up, and she's like, "Oh, like, what is this? This is, like, a little sample of, like, a ground beef crumble," but, like, you can even give it kind of a name of, like a beef pebble or like, "Oh, like, this is what builds Elsa's castle," is like the lots of these ground beef pebbles build her castle kinda thing. That connection right there is, like, a prime example of, like, connecting the foods that they don't know to something they do know. So, like, how I was saying earlier about the snacks, like, they know how to say snack, or maybe they know how to say bar, or they know how to say muffin. Like, they're
Yeah,
gonna
protein
say
bar is a thing of hers right now.
they
Protein bar. She wakes up in the morning, "Mom, protein bar." I'm like, because I sometimes will eat a protein bar because right
Yeah,
now I'm like, I don't have a lot
I
of
don't wanna
options that I can stomach
like
and don't give me heartburn. So I'm like, she'll see me eat it and she's like, "What is that, Mom?" I'm like, "A protein bar." And then she's like, "I
well,
want
I
a
wanna be
protein
cool
bar."
like
I'm like,
yes, like, I wanna be like mom, I want a protein bar, and then she also knows that word too, so it's like adding a new word to the vocabulary, it's new, and she knows how to name it. So, like, they're not gonna name, like, lobster or, like, I mean, my son knows hamburger now, but, like,
yeah,
once you start kinda picking up on, like, I've had clients that, like, either they're, like, a bar lover or they're a muffin lover, and I was like, "Yeah, like, well, they, like, really know that word and they know what to expect every single time too." So, um, like, with the snack example, like, I call beans snack, I call cucumber snack, I call, like, I don't know, like, banana snacks. So, like, I'll call all these different, like, whole foods snack foods too, and that's even a key thing that, like, you can try is, like, how can I add, say, goldfish or, like, her protein bar, can I cut it up into little bite-sized pieces and add it in a bowl with raspberries and pumpkin seeds, and it be kind of like a protein bar, like, trail mix
yeah,
situation or, like, treating that's another one of my huge things is like treating whole foods as snack foods versus just like thinking that snacks have to be packaged snacks. Cause like if they start learning, like, oh, like this is a snack too? Okay, this is a snack. Like then they'll
mm-hmm,
start like labeling, like, oh, I actually want a banana or I want a granola bar, not just I want snack kind of
mm-hmm.
thing too. So, and they learn like all foods can be a snack food if we just treat it right too. So, um,
Yeah, there's a lot of little tricks. And like you
for
said, it's
sure.
temporary. It's you kind of just have to do what you have to do to get them to eat. But
Yeah,
offering is a big thing. I feel like if there's any advice that was given to me, it's that even though you know your child's not going to eat it, still offer because
for
otherwise
sure.
they're never going to get that exposure. And you've said it as well.
Yeah, like because they won't have the chance to try it if we just keep on only giving them what we know they're gonna eat. Because if we only give them what we know they're gonna eat, that's all they're ever going to eat is like what they're given. So, yeah, that's like my biggest thing is like even when working with parents and they're like starting off like cooking separate meals, it's like, okay, how can we create, say you're making like lasagna or you're making meatloaf or whatever the dinner is, like, how can we make that in a version that is more like gonna be more accepted by them? Like, could we crumble up the meatloaf and put it in a quesadilla? Could we like split up the lasagna and maybe do some like buttered noodle lasagna noodles and like the sauce on the side? So like creating just little differences in the dinners to where, like, you don't have to work twice as hard, like,
Yeah.
cooking different meals, you're just kind of, like, adjusting what you're cooking. Because like, me and my kiddos' plates don't always look the same, like, maybe Chloe's is deconstructed, and then Bowen's is in either, like, a hamburger sandwich form, or maybe it's in, like, a taco or quesadilla form, like something because he likes it like he likes it deconstructed too, but he's more of like the let me hold it and grab it, like a big version type thing. And that's what I was going to mention to you. Sorry, I know we're going so much over time, but
No, you're good.
like with you being scared of choking, like you're definitely not the only one. Like I hear that so much, and that's what causes a lot of us to like hold back on like giving them the bigger version is because like we're scared of them taking bigger bites. But if they don't learn, like if they aren't given that bigger version to learn how to take bites, and it's like they don't learn how to take bites. So I think it's awesome that because like she may accept more foods that are in the bigger version than the smaller cut up version
Yeah.
as well.
And now
So
we've been doing that. And I'll even like offer that version to her. But I agree with you
yeah,
because when we started giving it to her is when she started realizing her bite size of what
yeah.
she could handle. But I was
Just like
terrified
whoa,
of it at first. I was
it's
like, but
hard
she also would like scare me with like taking, putting the
with
whole
big
banana. I'm like,
bites.
okay, wait a second.
And so,
So
like, yeah, and if my
it,
son didn't spit it out, then I'd be like, "Okay, chew, chew, chew." Like, we'd sing this little, like it's not even a song. It was just like a rhythm of like, make sure you chew your food. So like I would show him like literally be so exaggerative with like my chewing and his chewing. So then like he really knew, okay, I have to chew really hard. Or like I don't know if you've tried dried mango with her, but it's like it is a scary food, but like even teaching her how to like rip off bites and like chew, chew, chew before she swallows. Cause like you have to chew that pretty well to like
yeah, we have dried mangoes.
swallow.
That's one of my cravings.
It's so good. I love it.
Um, but no, that's good. Those are good tips.
Yeah.
And I'll definitely have to try
Yeah.
that. And it's so funny. Like, I mean, everything you're saying resonates with me so well. And
It's
I'm sure moms that will be listening, as well, they'll be able to
yeah.
resonate in some way.
Yeah, and even if they have questions and, like, I don't know if you ever get, like, responses or whatnot, but if anybody has any questions and, like, we could totally even do, like, part 2 of, like, okay, like, what questions do you wanna bring
Yeah.
on? And,
No,
because
seriously.
there's
I
so
feel like
many
there's
other
so much we could go over. I know I'm looking at the time. I'm like, we can go on and on and on.
literally, I could go for a whole other hour, like, there is so much to share, but, like, even the big takeaways. And I can even give you I don't know if you like have any like if you attach links or whatnot, but I could even give you kind of like my top tips for like feeding toddlers too that you could like link. It's kind of like a freebie that I have. Just going over like the main thing, like kind of like top 5 things that you can really look at and like start practicing that could like really make a huge difference that like I noticed with my clients first off. Like granted, like I said at the beginning, like um there's different levels to like
Yeah.
how severe is your picky eater? Like how long have you been creating these habits that they have to? Like you it sounds like Sailor has a pretty good like meal and snack time structure, but like we didn't really even touch on that. But like
I know. I'm like, I feel like we have to do another episode because I'm like, there's so many things that I'm like, sitting down, like keeping them in a high chair for as long as possible, then sitting them
that
in like
too.
a toddler chair because like eating, then they start to have freedom with walking around
If
with food, and
and like
we could
restaurant
go on
eating,
and
how
on.
do you like sit? Yes, no, we can. I don't know. Yeah, I doubt you have time before you pop the baby out, but if you do, I'm totally down to even hop on like another either short call because there is like so
So
much
much.
that yeah we can go over, but
Well, I
hopefully
guess
like
for the moms, I mean, we have to look into talking more because I feel like there's so much to go over.
now that you mentioned
And
the
we
high
also
chair and
talked
stuff,
like
I'm like oh
we talked for like a half hour before recording too,
yeah, that's yes.
but which I loved. But no, I was just gonna say, like, for moms that are just like they're really stressed out because I feel like obviously when you consider yourself like your child a picky eater, like you're obviously like you said, the biggest thing is that we love our kids that much that we are worried that they're not getting proper nutrients. Or
For sure.
maybe they aren't, maybe
Yeah.
they are losing weight or there's just certain things that you're concerned about.
Yeah.
What would like your biggest advice be to that mom?
It A, really, like, try to step back And this has, like, been a huge thing for me as a mom too, because I shared that, like, my son was a bit delayed with, like, walking, and it led into speech and stuff too, but, like, trying not to compare our kids to the other kid that we're seeing on the internet, because that is going to cause so much more stress than, like, or even the kid at the park or the mom at the park. Like, whenever I'm talking to moms, just even out in public, like, not even my clients, like, I really try to, like, take everything, like, if I get advice or anything, like, take everything with, like, a grain of salt too, because we're all experiencing, like, motherhood so differently as well. So that would be my number one, is, like, really try not to compare, like, even daughter to like, boy to girl, a a 12-month-old to a 15-month-old, a 12-month-old to an 18-month-old, like, 4 to 6 months changes so much too. Like, their chewing abilities, their appetite, like, everything can change so much. So, like, try not to compare, like, realizing that social media is a highlight reel too. And, like, if any mom on here listens to this and they, like, ever question things that, like, "Oh, like, is your son or daughter, like, perfect eater, like this or that?" Like, feel free to message me and I will show you, like, I am not perfect. Like, I do this for a living, but there are totally days that, like, my kiddos have more than one pouch, or, like, we're on the road and I'm like, "Okay, here's a snack bag, here's a snack bag." And, like, they're not really eating lunch because I recognize that, like, they've snacked all day. So, like,
Mm.
we're all kind of going through motherhood differently. So, like, trying not to compare, trying to back up and think about how tiny of a human they are too. And, like, one thing that, like, helps a lot of parents is, like, the size of their stomach, it's not like an exact measurement, but is almost like the size of their closed fist. So when we think about, like, how much food can actually fit in there is, like, mind-boggling, because it's really not that much. And, like, how
Mhm.
you talked about the eggs, like, that is really filling. And so when we really think about, like, how much they've had, because, like, say a popsicle can be kind of like, it adds nutrition, or, like, the Ovaltine water, like, that's putting some nutrition in her body. And, like, our toddlers can't tell whether they ate a chicken nugget or they drink an Ovaltine water. Like, they feel like, to them, they're either hungry or they're full. They're not like, "Oh, like, I need to eat a full meal to be satisfied." Like, us as adults, like, we're like, we kinda had a snack for, like, mid-morning snack. Like, we need a
Yeah.
full meal. Like, they don't think about it like that. They're just like, "I'm hungry or I'm full, and if I'm full, I ain't eating." So, like, I think that is, yeah, it's like a second huge thing, is, like, realizing how small their little tummies are, and, like,
And they're
trying
gonna
to take
tell
it.
us. They will say,
Yeah.
"I'm hungry." That happened to me
Yes.
for the first time at my mom's house, like, a week ago. And I
Yes.
knew, like, I brought her there, she really didn't have a big lunch, we went past dinner time because she was playing, and then she looks at me and she's like, "Mom, I'm hungry." And my mom's like, "Oh my gosh, she's hungry." I'm like, "Okay, I'm like, "Big
And it's
deal.
good.
She's gonna eat now," like, and she told me she's hungry.
Yes, and I think, like, I'm so glad you even said that, because it's like, I think also it's like, some parents, we don't want them to be hungry, but it is good for them to feel hunger too. Like,
Yeah.
we don't want them to go all their childhood life, like, constantly being offered and, like, filled all these things of, like, us being scared of them being hungry. Like, it is a good thing for them to feel and recognize that they're hungry too. So I think that's great, and they will tell us whenever they're hungry. They're gonna find a way, they're gonna throw a tantrum, they're gonna be cranky, like, there's gonna be signs that they're hungry. I think that is, and it is come one last thing. It is like, it is so normal for them to not eat a lot one day and to eat a lot the next day. So, like, thinking of it more as a week average versus a daily average can help so much. Like, maybe it's 2 days in a row that you're like, "Oh, man, they really haven't eaten that much, like, yesterday and the day before." Like, okay, if that lasted, like, probably, like, 5 or 7 days, and I'd be like, "Okay, like, are they sick? Is something going on?" But, like, a couple days, and then that 3rd day, I guarantee you're gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, like, you were a bottomless pit." So,
Yeah.
trying to think of it as, like, a week average versus the daily average for sure can hopefully help.
I've definitely noticed those patterns, but
Yeah, and it's concerning, like, it's crazy, we're like, "Oh gosh, like, we're having one of these days, like, do you want this? No, no," they throw this, and so and that's where milk or a smoothie, like, different
Yeah,
things like that
little
could kind of
fillers.
be yeah, like, helpful and, like, utilizing those as, like, a snack. Not that I give them as, like, a backup, it's just kind of like a, "Huh, okay, like, let me try making a smoothie," and, like, if she's truly just not hungry, she will not drink it. Like, that's another
Yeah.
thing too that we don't realize is, like, if they are truly not hungry, they it doesn't matter even if it's, like, their preferred food, they're not gonna maybe they'll snack on it, but then they're gonna be done because 'cause they're, like, such natural intuitive eaters. It's we should all aspire to be them, honestly.
Well, thanks for everything that you shared. It's
Yeah,
been
this was
so nice talking to you. So nice hearing your story.
this
Like I
was
said,
so
I feel like I could
fun.
talk to you for hours.
No.
We'll have to talk about everything and see if we could do
Yeah,
another episode and just go over more stuff because I feel like there's so much.
so much more, like, we didn't even yeah, I don't even think we touched on half the questions that you sent me, so we for sure will have to do another one.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah,
And yeah, for like any moms, obviously I will definitely add like your Instagram and just any links that you want to share. That way, if there's
yeah.
any questions or if they want to reach out, they can reach out to you directly.
Yeah, no, I would love that. So, DM, email, through the application, like whichever. Yeah. I'm an open book. So, I'm just like everybody else. Like I tell that to all my clients like whenever they start working with me because they're just like, "Oh, like you're so easy to talk to." I'm like, "I'm just like another any old mom out there. Like I'm not anybody like I don't know, anybody special. I'm just like y'all." So, I have the same worries and concerns, but like, this is my like, I just know so much that it helps me, like, my mind ease. Now, if you talk to me about sleep or potty training, that is not my thing. That's not my thing, but so, anywho, it was so great.
Yeah, it was so nice talking to you. And
Yeah,
well, I'm sure we'll chat again soon.
for sure. Uh, but if you're